Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. Today I'm going to be ranking all of my cool toned eyeshadow palettes. Welcome to everyone watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today I have a really exciting ranking for you. I realized that this year in 2025 I have not yet done a ranking of all cool toned eyeshadow palettes in my makeup collection. I also haven't done this yet for neutral palettes, so guess what you can look forward to in December? But today I've selected every single cool toned eyeshadow palette that is currently in my active makeup collection. There's 40 of them, so we're gonna go from number 40 all the way to my number 1. So if you wanna know what my favorites are, if you also love cool tones, then maybe you'll find something here. There will be palettes here that are discontinued. I decided to put most of those in the bottom half, but if I truly love something and I still really enjoy using it, they might also end up higher in this ranking, just so you know. But there's still plenty here that you can still get your hands on, so I hope you enjoy. So number 40, this is just this low, not because I don't like it, but because it's very discontinued. There's not a chance you're going to be able to find this Zoeva En Taupe. This brand was super underrated. They're still around. They still do things. They actually now do multi-chrome eyeliners, in case you're wondering. I still follow them on Instagram, so I still see all of their new releases. They don't do too many new releases, and they are a European-based brand. They are from Germany. They do ship internationally from the official website, in case you were interested in checking them out. And they really focus on like just everyday makeup. So it's not super exciting what they do, but what they do is always really good quality. What I do have to say though is that they do, like, especially because here in Europe, makeup just tends to be more expensive. So yeah, they are a more expensive brand, but that has nothing to do with the quality of it. I have found that they do really good things that are similar to very high-end or luxury brands, and they are still going to be cheaper than those brands. They are just not super affordable. This is one of those brands that started as a very affordable version of more expensive brands, especially their brushes. And they have gotten more expensive over time. That's just the way it is. Back when this was around, their eyeshadow palettes retailed for around like 15 or 17 euros or something crazy like that. By the time they stopped doing these palettes a couple of years ago, I think they were already 25 or 30 euros anyways, maybe even 35, where you got to the point like, is it still worth it? I have kept a lot of my Zoeva palettes around throughout the years because I still love them. I still feel they do something unique, and something like this has not been made ever since. This is the only palettes in its existence. It was never done again. It has some gray tones, it has purples, and it has some of the very first duochrome shimmers in my makeup collection. You can't see it here because they aren't like shifty the way we nowadays get shifty shadows, but this one has a little bit of like a pinky flip, and this has a bit of a blue flip, but it's very subtle. And that's one of the reasons why I love this palette till this day. It's still in my active makeup collection. Maybe I should use this again this winter. Like in the winter time, if I'm super pale, this palette is a lifesaver. Very often, a lot of palettes are just too dark for me. Sure, I can sheer things out. I have different brushes that I can use, but sometimes I just like something quick and easy, and then a palette like this, chef's kiss. So love this palette, but you can no longer buy it. And that's why number 39 has to go to the Zimna Mocca by Glamshop. This was discontinued about as quickly as they put it out. What you need to know about Glamshop as a brand is that they only do limited edition eyeshadow palettes. So if you see a palette on their website, you need to snatch it up, because by the time it's sold out, they never bring anything back. Which I think is a bit of a shame. However, they also sell a lot of singles on their website, and I do feel that those things are very often kept in stock a little bit better than the eyeshadow palettes are. So very often you can find singles that are similar. In case you're unfamiliar with Glamshop, they are a Polish indie brand. So again, Europe-based. If you are in Europe, they may be a good brand to check out if you want high quality shimmers and really good mattes. Their 9 pans retail for around 20 euros. I think they still do, but again, it has gone up a little bit over time. The Zimna Mocca, which I believe translates to cold coffee, if I remember correctly, was just a stunner of a palette. It's very light, very ethereal. In here we also get this blue-pink sort of duochrome in the middle. Lots of good taupey shimmers, some interesting mattes to go with it. This is another really good foolproof eyeshadow look for me. I can just whip this on. It will look good every single time. And it was such a game changer for me when I found Glamshop. Because yes, compared to like some US-based brands, this can seem expensive, but I feel that quality-wise, it's always been very much on point for me. And Glamshop does some interesting things. I haven't checked out their website in a while. They used to come up on my Instagram all the time, and now they no longer do. So maybe I need to look them up on Instagram and see what's new, because they do some nice things for sure. Another product I really enjoy, but I believe this was also limited edition. It says so on the front, but I'm not entirely sure. It's by Jooycee. You can read the brand name here on the label. It's their limited edition Cyperpunk new Smoky collection. And this is really beautiful. This is a Chinese beauty brand. Loads of mattes, some interesting shimmers. This reddish pink in the middle has such a good shift to it. And this is really beautiful. It's really nicely cool toned. This is excellent quality, but from this brand, I like their singles better. That's why I don't have any more of their palettes, just this one. I like it. It does some really nice things, but I would rather have this pink separate in its own little pan than this entire palette, to be quite fair. And I have a couple of their singles. They make for great one and dones or toppers with other things, or if you're like a super quick and easy eyeshadow user, using an eyeshadow like stick on the lid and then putting one of their single shimmers on top. Beautiful every single time. It's very whimsical, very ethereal. There is some sparkle there. I call it sparkle and not glitter because I feel glitter has a negative connotation to it of like creating fallout and falling down your face, or maybe getting in your eyes if you're a contact lens wearer. But I feel with a lot of Asian beauty brands, the kind of glitter shadows we get is a lot more sophisticated and not as chunky as we usually get from Western brands. So if you like some sparkly shadows, then definitely check out this brand. They do some really wonderful things. Next up is this eyeshadow palette, and I do really enjoy this, but this brand, Wycon, is a little bit difficult for me to find. They do have an online like website. I've never ordered through it though, but I picked this up when I was in Italy a couple of years ago. I found the brand in Florence. Apparently they're an Italian brand that's from Naples, and this palette, if it hadn't been on sale that day, I wouldn't have bought it. I paid roughly 35 euros for it, but full price, these were like a similar price point to like a full-sized Huda Beauty palette. And while this is really pretty, I don't think it's worth that amount of money. Like what I paid for it, that's what it's worth. So around 30, 35 euros, I'm happy to pay for something like this, but not 55, 60. But it's beautiful. It may just be very difficult to get, which is why I didn't rank it any higher. It has some beautiful shimmers in. This shade in particular, it's this really nice silvery with golden specks. It's got a lot of pastels in. It has some nice pastel shades. You do get some neutrals to tie any look together. We get some periwinkles, but some of these like pastel mattes didn't show up the way I'd like them to. So this for me is just a very shimmer heavy palette that doesn't have the mattes that I wanted to go with. So that's why this isn't ranked super high, even though I do think this is a really beautiful and very unique cool tone color story. As you will see in this ranking as we go along, I'm not a huge fan of cool tone palettes that are just grays with blacks. So the Black Jasmin from Kaleidos, as beautiful as this is, apparently Kaleidos is launching, or has just launched, a new makeup collection, which surprised me. It doesn't include any eyeshadow though, so that's probably why I ignored it. But here is what that looks like. As you can see, grays with a silver and a black. Your classic smoky eye kind of palette, but I just feel that too many brands think that a cool tone is just a smoky eye palette with grays and blacks and maybe a silver shimmer. So this is sort of like my version of that, but I try to look for other things when I do look for cool tone palettes, especially if they're neutral ones, I want there to be a little bit more interest there, and this just isn't it. So that's why this one is lower down. Beautiful quality though. It's really, really good quality, these Kaleidos quads are. Another palette, I'm not sure if these are still around, but Fenty Beauty did these snap shadows at a certain point in time. I also have number 6 Smoky, and for a minute there, I wanted to take it up here, but I would rank them together anyways. It's a deeper version of this, essentially. This is number 2. This was called Cool Shadows. I believe these are discontinued, so that's why I'm not ranking it super high. A lot of people dislike these because they are... like, let's just say this purple isn't purple enough for a lot of people. I use it mainly on the lower lash line. It's got some pink tones. Both of these are a little bit similar. I usually use the Smoky and this together to create my perfect look. It's really pretty though. I really enjoy these shadows still, but they're very hard to find. So that's why I'm not ranking it any higher. Then I have this very random Chinese beauty brand. This is Go-Go Tales. I tried a lot of KNC beauty last year and loads of palettes. I was just looking for new brands that I hadn't tried before. Go-Go Tales was one of them. And this was my pick of all of those palettes that I tried last year of one of the things that I wanted to keep. It's a really beautiful, like, cooler toned color story with loads of neutrals and a pop of baby blue. And this was something I saw a lot on YESSTYLE, like when I was looking through all of the palettes on there. This sort of like cooler toned color story with a pop of blue was really popular last year. So I just tried to find a version that worked well for me. This black just kind of goes all over the place. It's pretty powdery. It's super intense though. If you want a really intense matte black, this palette may be for you. I, of course, love the taupes in here. These taupey grays with the pop of blue is what I live for. It's really beautiful. It has some really interesting things in here. Nice shimmers, good mattes. It's just, this is a bit of a random palette for me compared to other things I have. I have plenty of blues in my makeup collection anyway, so I could essentially just recreate this with shadows I already own. I don't need a special palette for a cool tone palette with a pop of blue, as you will see. But it's nice. It's a bit of a random pick for me. This one, I put this low, not because I don't like it. I actually think that in previous years, this was a top 10 item for me. Formula-wise, it still is. It's just that this brand has reformulated all of their eyeshadow palettes, and this exact one you can no longer get. What am I talking about? The Smoky Eye Brick from Victoria Beckham Beauty in the shade Tuxedo. This is all matte. It's nicely cool toned. I love the brown in here. I don't love though that this is one pan. And that's something they've changed with the new palettes. And the new palettes also include shimmers. So this is still something that's sort of on my brain as something to get through this Black Friday weekend. Those new eyeshadow palettes, I technically still want to try them, but this is such an expensive brand. And I feel like I've only begun to make a dent in the items I already own, that I don't necessarily feel the itch and the need to be buying this, like, updated version. I do believe they don't do this one exactly, but they do a new take on this for sure. And what's more is that the new version of this palette does have separate pans for each color. So with this, if it smashes, I'm toast because I can no longer use it, because this will just be, this is one pan of shadow, but 4 different colors pressed in like that order. So if it breaks, I'm no longer able to use it. So yeah, that's why I'm ranking it here. And then 2 of my like favorite drugstore sort of cool tone things. There are some more affordable things coming up in later parts of this ranking. One of these, again, very sadly discontinued. This one by Essence. This was so good. These were so slept on. And I also slept on these for a very long time, because I feel like they released these like for a few years and then they discontinued them. And I was like very late to the party. I discovered this right before they discontinued them. And I don't always try all of these new like eyeshadow lines that Essence and Catrice do, because they have been doing things like this over the years anyways. They always have like a couple of palettes in their collection, and they're not always the best things ever. So sometimes I skip them going like, I don't think I need that. And then I tried this and I was like, but that's good. That's actually good shadow. Love the sort of grays with like these Interesting, like pinky browns. They're really good. They are cool toned if you blend them, also on cool toned skin. So this was a very much slept on palette. I think it was like $2.99 at the drugstore, and nobody talked about it. And I was like, why? Because these are good. And then, of course, MUA. If we're talking affordable eyeshadow, if you are in the UK, check out MUA. This brand is really difficult to find, though, if you are not in the UK. This is sold at Superdrug. They do have an official website, but it may be very expensive to buy, and then it's no longer that affordable. Notino carries them as well in the EU. So if you're in the EU, they are a little bit easier to get. This entire palette, 15 pans, €5, maybe 6. So it's cheap. It feels cheap packaging wise, but these shades are stunning. This looks a bit like a stray warm tone, but on the lids it's not. It's actually a lot more neutral than you might think, and it has different textures of shimmer. This is a really good palette. I just feel bad ranking these too high because so many of you can't get them. This is just really difficult to source, even though it's such a good thing to have. I'm really happy with mine. I will keep using it for some time. But I have to say that I like the 5 pans of this range a little bit better. This is also the only cool toned 15 pan that they do. They have loads of warm tones and then this one rogue sort of cool tone in the line. So I definitely like the 5 pans of this even better. So that was like 40 to 31. So we're moving into 30 to 21 now. So we're getting to the halfway point of the ranking. And this is mainly palettes where I feel like, yes, these are pretty. They are cool toned, but they are not my perfect like cool tone neutral. Like if I need to rank them all, my cool tones need to be neutral. Like they need to be like grayish browns. That's what I love. These all have color in them, which I know that some people don't make that, like they don't see that as it counting towards a ranking like this, but in my brain they are still cool tone palettes. Let me live. It's my channel. We're gonna start with number 30, and number 30 is this big guy. The reason why this is number 30 is because she's too big. This is too big. It's too big of a, like it's the size of my head. It's 40 pans, 42. They've repackaged these though. They no longer come in this design, but the palettes are still around on Beauty Bay. This is the Beauty Bay Smoky palette. If you want a one-stop shop for all things cool tone though, this. And this, in terms of it being quite affordable and accessible, I think really takes the cake. Beauty Bay nicely ships around the globe. You can get this wherever you live, I think. They may have some exceptions. I don't know their shipping policy exactly, but they do ship internationally. And their name brand eyeshadow palettes are actually some of the most affordable. I bought this together with the smaller size version of this, which is still coming up in the ranking. I bought them together at like a discount for like €25. Especially if you wait for them to have a sale. They can be a really good deal, and they have some really good quality eyeshadow. It was when I tried these from their standard range. Before this, I had only tried their limited edition stuff, that I was like, now I get it. Now I understand why everyone loves Beauty Bay eyeshadow so much. This is a full-on, cool tone, neutral dream of a palette. We even get some things that pull a little bit of green and purple in here. There are some blue tones in here, things that are more brown, taupey leaning. Every rendition that you can think of like a cool tone neutral is in this palette. But things like this give me a headache. I don't know where to look. I don't know what to go for. Give me something that's a little bit more curated and it makes me a lot happier. I know that some people don't want that though. Some people just want everything in one go. They're one-stop shop. This. If you want a one-stop shop for all things cool tone neutral, it would be this. Speaking of palettes that I always think are a little bit too big and they don't give me exactly what I want, Blend Bunny. I love Blend Bunny. Let me put that out there. I love their formula. I do enjoy their formula, and I totally get the concept of the name Blend Bunny and them giving you things like little columns of shades that go together that are then easy to blend. Here's the thing. If you can use different brushes, the same shade of eyeshadow can work in 3 different ways. Depending on placement and the brushes you use, you do not need 3 mattes to blend shadow. If you do, you need to work on your makeup technique. You need better brushes in your life. You don't need a million palettes that spell it out for you. Okay? But yeah, the formula is lovely. This is the Longing palette, which is I think this is my favorite Blend Bunny palette I have. I like the Surge for real, but that was discontinued. Is this still around? I don't know if this is still around. But yeah, this is a beautiful, it's more cooler tone. It does have some colorful things with the greens here. We get some purple things, but it does have neutrals. It's got the grays, these like dusty blue sort of things. It's a really beautiful palette, but here's the thing. With Blend Bunny, I always want more shimmers. I always want them to do more shimmers. Give me one last matte. Like most of these lighter mattes, I could do without. Like, or the mid-tone ones, or the very dark ones. Like, I don't need 4 or 5 really dark mattes. They are all going to look the same on my face. So, fewer mattes, more shimmers would make me happier with something like this. Let me see. I do like this, but it's another rendition of that like gray tone color story with a pop of something. What am I talking about? It's Flower Nose's Black Swan palette. I believe that, yeah, the Swan Ballet series Black Swan. Like, Flower Nose knows how to do packaging. Their packaging is gorgeous. Look at this. Just take a minute for the packaging. Just appreciate it. And then we look at the color story inside it, and it's sort of like giving that Jooycee Cyperpunk thing, but with a red matte instead of a red shimmer, essentially. This white has shimmer and is a like pinky reddish flip. Really interesting. And then we get a silver. So we get 2 shimmers and 4 mattes. You can do really good looks with this. Like, this is a really good basic to have. The red makes it a little bit more unique, so this definitely has quite a bit going for it. But in terms of like in usage, how much I use a color story like this, it's not really there for me. So that's why for me, beautiful palette, really lovely packaging, nice formula, but I want something slightly different for most of my palettes, as we'll see. Speaking of Glamshop, we already mentioned the brand. They're going to pop up a couple of times in this video because I do have quite a few of their cooler tone things. They started doing this year, which I think is so interesting. It's these quads with some interesting high shine shimmers and 2 mattes. This is called the Cool Glam. This may still be available. The reason why it's ranked this low is because it's too small. I need something with more depth. Like, if this had been a deeper shade, like, I don't need shades like this. Creams we have a million times over in every single palette that brands put out. If this had been a darker shade, like a deeper version of this to use as liner for deepening things up, I would have personally liked this a lot better. But I also believe that these are just singles that they've put together in a quad. So you could very easily customize this if you'd like to. But yeah, I like the matte in here. The 2 taupey shimmery silvers are really, really beautiful as well. Glamshop does some really good eyeshadow, like I've already mentioned. And if you're in the EU, they may be a little bit easier to find as well. So I really like the Cool Glam. I really, really do. It's just I wanted something slightly different from it. Now this I may have featured in a different video before. It's the LH Cosmetics Daybreak palette. This is really beautiful. If you are a summer, if you know that about yourself, color analysis wise, this is going to be your color story. As I said, do I need to say more? If you are a cool summer, this is your palette. It just is. It's got these really nice sort of like dusty pinky purples, a nice taupe, some gray tones in here. This shimmer is life. It's really beautiful. It has a bit of a blue flip to it. It doesn't have the best reputation because this doesn't swatch well. So it's not very online friendly, you could say. It doesn't showcase very well. It comes to life if you use it with brushes. Then it's beautiful, just so you know. Beautiful palette. Yes, I like the other one I have a little bit better. So that's why that's going to come up a little bit later in the video. But yeah, the Daybreak is really good. It's just not really my color story. Pastels just don't really suit me very well. So this is just a little bit too pastel-y. Which one do I like better? I'm trying to grab for things and I'm like, which one do I like better? I think I like this one better. So that means we need to talk about this next. Cool Trolls, Cosmic Beauty. Beautiful palette, but it wasn't what I had expected. This was launched together with the Neutrals. I like that one better than I do this one. It is the Cosmic Beauty formula that I know I love. So formula-wise, no notes, but it's just too blue. I wanted this like bluey purple 2 rows to be a little bit more neutral because the neutrals we do get are a little bit more warm tone. So that's why it wasn't perfect. They have come out with a palette since then though. Keep watching, because that was a lot better. So yeah, this is just a little bit too blue heavy. Whenever I use this, I get a blue look and not a neutral look. So why is this called Cool Trolls? You know, it just doesn't really go with the name. Like it though, it's beautiful. If I do want to go for those bluey, purpley type of things, I have the palette for that, so it's fine. It's just that now that I have the other palette, I don't know if I were to declutter my makeup collection next year, whether this is going to survive. It may be something that I need to declutter, because I just have something better. Next up would be this, the Glaminatrix Timeless Tones. If you saw my other video that I did this week about cool tones, then you know I just tested this out this year. And this is beautiful. It is more cool tone, like neutral in these 2 rows, but it has blues and greens here. So depending on what you like, this does have a lot going for it. I love the shimmers we get in here. And like the Blend Bunny palette, it gives you 3 mattes to blend things. What I said about the Blend Bunny stands here as well. You don't necessarily need that. I just wish that this was a little bit deeper and more of a taupe than like this light gray that doesn't really go, or make it a very light blue. Like it isn't giving what I wanted it to give. And here again, we get like 2 of these very light shades that essentially do the same thing. So if this would have been here and then this would have been a light blue, I would have liked it better. So yeah, there are notes to this one. I like it for sure, but it's not fully cool tone neutral. So that's why I didn't want to rank it too high in this video, even though I do really like it. And then in this section, so we're nearing the number 20 mark here, I wanted to feature some more affordable things as well. So we have some Romand palettes. We all know Better Than palettes by Romand have my heart. I have 5 of these things, okay? Oh, I forgot to bring the Dusty one on here. Ooh, the Dusty Garden. Dusty Fog Garden is what it's called. Have that one too, but it's all matte. So we all know how I feel about all matte palettes. Not my favorite. I wish this line came out with something a little bit more cool toned with fun shimmers like they do in the warm tones. But this is close. This is Cheeky Garden. This has some like purpley mauve tones in here, some taupey things, and we get 2 really fun shimmers here. I really love this. This comes together really nicely. You get a bit of a gradient here. And what I like about the Better Than palettes by Romand is that they just come in so many different undertones. So depending on what you like, you can just get whatever. I just wish they had some more cool tones. But yeah, this is lovely. And these retail for around 15 euros, but YESSTYLE is always doing sales on these, so you can definitely get them for cheaper. Speaking of cheaper things, I think this may be the cheapest eyeshadow in this entire video. It's the 5 Pans by MUA. So I showed you the Illusionist palette. These are the 2 cool tone quintets that they're doing. So these are 5 pans. This darker one is a bit more smoky. It's called Andromeda Skies. And then we have Enchantment. Both of these are really pretty. The shimmers in this are something else. They are indie shimmer quality, but these are €3 at the drugstore. It's weird. But like I said, MUA is difficult to get, so that's why I didn't want to rank them any higher. But here is the smoky one, the more neutrally one of the 2. This is Andromeda Skies. It looks really dark in the pan, but all these shades sheer out beautifully, and then they are a little bit lighter on the eyes, just so you know. And then we have Enchantment, which is sort of a little bit more whimsical, I feel. I like the name for it as well. You get like a darker gray with this pink tone. a purple, and this really beautiful like silvery ethereal looking shade. So these are really fun, and for how affordable they are, I think they are really good quality. Like it's not even just like good for the price point. This is just good shadow, period. No matter how, like I would pay 3 times as much for this. Like if these little 5 pants were 10 euros, I would still love them just as much. And then we get to numbers 20 to 11. So number 20, I can't rank this higher than the midway point because I haven't tested the full palette yet. But it's going to be in my December Shop My Stash. It's the Smoller from Cosmic Beauty. This is giving what I wanted the Cool Trolls to be. It just does. It just does. It just does. It does still have a little bit of blue down here, but it's not overly blue. It's mainly cooler tone neutrals in these 3 rows. We have a bit of warmth with this like peachy pinky sort of vibe, but I'm hoping that when I'm using it on my lids, it's not going to be as warm as it looks in the pan. It's actually like, depending on how I look at it, like I think it has to do with like the metallic foiling around the pan that makes it look warmer tone than it actually looks when I like look at it myself in daylight. It looks more like pinks. And this looks a little bit more mauve almost. So I'm very hopeful that those will work out for me as well. But overall, it just has so many stunning shades in. I only did 1 look, like I said. I sort of focused on these 5 shades here, but I'm going to do more shades, like looks with it. It does have 20 pans, so that always takes me a little bit of time to just review it. I tend to test out every single pan of eyeshadow when I do my eyeshadow palette reviews, and that month I just had too many. I was just trying to test out too many, so I did 1 look to confirm that yes, this is the formula that I know I love. So I know this color story, I can make it work for me. And like I said, this is what I wanted Cool Trolls to be. So I know that when I do my end of year ranking and I've tested out the entire palette, if it continues to blow my socks off, this can very well be a top 10 palette for me from 2025. I like it that much. I'm just not ranking it higher today because I have only done 1 look. I don't think it's fair to put this in the top 10 without having tested everything. Number 19 then is going to be my smaller version of the Beauty Bay Smoky palette. Like I said, I like the big guy very much as a one-stop shop, but if I realistically am going to be grabbing for either one of these palettes, I'm going to be reaching for the 16 pan. I do have to say though that this palette did give me a little bit of like an allergic reaction when I first used it, but I was fine for all the looks I did after that. So maybe my eyes were just extra sensitive that day. I had been traveling, so that could have been part of the game here. But this is essentially like just a smaller version of the big guy. And in here you get grays, you get some taupey things, and you get some things with like a blue undertone. This is a navy. And I think that as far as like cool tone neutrals go, this is one of the best things. The reason why I'm not ranking it any higher is because I did have that small issue with my eye getting a little bit sensitive when I was using it. So I'm not sure how that goes. I have gone back to it though, and I've been fine every single time after that. So that's why I'm just thinking it was the conditions of me traveling at the time and my eyes just being extra dry, that's why that happened. Because I have those shades since then and I was absolutely fine. So I just think it was that bit of an anomaly. I can't talk today. But it was just like the odd one out, you could say. So I don't think that that's necessarily going to affect it long term. I do really think this is a beautiful color story. You get wonderful mattes, really good shimmers. Like it just has everything that I want. But I don't want to rank something that I had a bit of an issue with as high as anything else that I still have coming up in my top 10. Number 18, a brand whose formula I love. I just think that this color story could have been better. Number 18 is going to be this guy, the Natasha Denona Xenon palette. Beautiful palette. This is an absolutely stunner of a palette. If you have fair skin, you've got a cool undertone. These undertones will show up on you, but here again, I don't really get the crease shade I want. This is a little bit too light. This is the only crease shade I get. I don't always want gray in my crease. That's just the way I tend to think. This taupe shimmer though is life. I love a lot of the shades here. I just would have made some different choices. This together with the I Need a Nude is really pretty. So I definitely can make that work and sort of replace that shade by one of the mattes from the I Need a Nude and I'm good. It's got some blue tones in, it's got some gray tones in. It just has so many stunning things. Some different textures, duochromes, interesting shimmers. You know the drill when it comes to Natasha Denona. I love the formula. Love, love, love the formula. That's why this is ranked so high. But color story wise, it doesn't quite tickle the itch. Next up, I have the other LH palette that I have. This is the Aim Higher palette. I like this better because these are more my shades. We get 3 shades here that are grays. We get some like taupey browns. We get this like black, but it's got a little bit of a charcoal category to it, or quality to it, I should say. And then this yellow isn't yellow. It's a duochrome that has like a blue flip. It's really interesting. It goes really well with the different shades. I don't use this enough. I really enjoy the quality of this. I do think this is a really nice, small, nice, curated little 9-pan for sure. Is it a wonderful palette? Yes. These are a little bit expensive perhaps for what they are though. And again, I do think I have palettes that can do this in my top 10 that I just like better. So I put most of my more colorful palettes in the 30 to 20 part of the ranking because I was like, are they really cool tone neutrals? Am I going to rank them that high? But something that I'm making an exception for and I'm putting in my top 20 here is the Cheer Yep Steel Hard palette. You will have heard me mention this on Thursday when I did my cool tone palette roundup. I only tried it this year, but this is so beautiful. It's got essentially like, it's gray, taupey, mauvey things with pops of pink. It's really pretty. Would I want more shimmers in here? Yes. We only have 5 shimmers, but they are good shimmers. They are nice shimmers. I just want it a little bit more. But it has some really wonderful things. You can essentially use this as little quads and it will come together every single time. It makes it so easy, so foolproof to use. But also the different undertones just go together really, really well. So it comes together beautifully, and these have gotten cheaper over time. They now retail in a lot of places for like 25 euros, especially the ones that have fewer shimmers in, which I think is good. So Cheer Yep is definitely underrated. I really enjoy their quality. I have 3 of their palettes now. Next up is another Glamshop palette. This is the Creme de la Creme. This came out this year, so I have high hopes that this is still on the website. This, again, also not ranked super high in this part of the ranking because it does have some pinks in. So it's not truly like a neutral palette, but it does have a very neutral vibe. The pinks in here are more like rosy tones, and then you get this one peach. I kind of ignore the peach. But it does go together really nicely. Nothing in here is super metallic. Like the Cool Glam has more intense shimmers if that's what you're looking for. This is a little bit more satin, like satin metallic-esque. It's really pretty, really easy to use. It goes quite deep for a Glamshop palette. Like most Glamshop palettes that are cool toned are pretty like muted and very like fair skin friendly. But this gives you actual depth even in some of the shimmers. Beautiful taupes in here, really nice silvery things. I like the pinks in here, to be quite fair. I really do enjoy it. And I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 mattes, 8 shimmers, which I think is a really good split between mattes and shimmers. So Creme de la Creme from Glamshop, I really enjoy. Next up is the Lisa Eldridge Vega palette. This is going to be number 14. And Vega is really beautiful. I enjoy the Lisa Eldridge formula, especially in this one. It's just a stunning palette. It does have a little bit of a like bluey green sort of quality to it. So we have some taupes here, bluey grays, and then these really beautiful shimmers. Especially this one. And then this is a bit more of a satin, like the taupey things in here are beautiful. And then this is the topper that makes everything shift. Like this is so beautiful. These are pricey though. They are really pricey, I do have to say. I don't think I've seen Lisa Eldridge ever do a sale as well. So you would have to pay full price for this if you want it. It goes out of stock really quickly, so you may have to put on notifications. It comes back from time to time. I think this is really beautiful. Because here's the thing. The reason why I like this is because, yes, you get the neutrals, but because of these like grayish, bluey, black sort of things, there is a little bit of interest there. It just isn't like flat grays with blacks. I just don't like that. This is my vibe that I like to go for. I just wish this was bigger. 6 bands isn't enough. Like give me 12 or 15 bands, then we're talking. Number 13 is Raven's Castle by Makeup by Lisa. This is again really difficult to find. I'm not even sure if this is still available because this is a very small indie brand from the UK. And I've heard some people say in the comments that they were trying to get this palette and it never came. So I'm not sure. I believe it's like a one-woman show, and they kind of do makeup on the side, it seems. So it's not like a regular thing for them. I'm happy that I have mine. So if you were looking for this, this may be really difficult to find, but yeah. Yeah. It's mainly a like more neutral color story. I get the crease shade that I want with some like nice shimmers to go with it. It's got some pink, like almost like whimsical lavendery sort of fairy-esque sort of shades to it. A nice black, a nice more like mid-tone purple shimmer if you do want to add a little bit more color. But overall, I just like the way this, like the way I feel when I wear this palette is like a whimsical fairy princess. Who doesn't want to feel that way? So that's why I still rate this really highly, even though it's really hard to get. I told you there were going to be palettes in here that were ranked higher that are going to be hard to get, but I like what I like, so I do apologize. But I try to always put those things lower in rankings because there's no point in me like raving about too many things that you can no longer find. I do think this is also discontinued. I do think they still do the second version, but number 1 is gone. Glam Light's Ghostface lives. I mean, I like this a lot. This is so, so beautiful. Again, as far as like giving you different undertones and different things of what a cool tone can be, this palette is really special in that sense, but I'm not putting it in the top 10 because I don't think you can still get it. You see, you get some taupey things in here. There are purpley things in here. Some of these things even have like a slightly hint of green to them. So I like that. So bluey things as well. It just has a lot going for it. And for a 15 pan, I think they did a really good job putting so many different things in. There are some duochrome shimmers that just shift and look really, really stunning as well. So I really enjoy this palette. It's a good one. And Glamlight, as far as their palettes go, compared to other indie brands, they are a little bit more affordable, I find. Like, indie brands can be so expensive, but Glamlight palettes still tend to be like around 35 euros, which I think makes it a very accessible indie brand to try. If you want to try indie makeup, but you don't want the indie makeup price point of like 80 plus euros, then Glamlight can be a good brand to check out. Number 11, I almost put this in the top 10, but I'm like, I don't use it enough. Like, I put things in the top 10 that I would pick over this, but it's definitely a contender, and I think in other years I did put this in the top 10. But it's Venus Trap from Kaleidos. I love the packaging, this like satin fabric with like the design on it. It's so beautiful. Can we just take a moment for how beautiful this is? It's not too dark, but it still has enough depth that I can do different things with this, so I like that. It's sort of like grayish taupe leaning things. Like, I feel like on camera they look more warm toned than they do to me in real life. They look a little bit more gray, but 3 mattes, 1 beautiful shimmer. It just works every time. And this like lavender pink sort of thing that it comes with, beautiful in the inner corner. If you want to accentuate something, to highlight something, it works really well. I'm usually not a fan of matte highlighter, but this one works. All right, then we get to the top 10. Are you ready for the top 10? Because I've got some good things for you. Not sure this is still around, but this is a palette I showed you yesterday as one of the things that I'm gonna, like, if this ever expires on me, it's gonna go into a makeup memory box. I'm gonna keep this palette forever. Not because it has interesting packaging or because it's anything special, but me and the ColourPop That's Taupe, we go way back. I've had this palette for years. I go back to this every year, and every single time I wear this, I feel good. Not just good, I feel great. I actually am considering putting this in my December Shop My Stash because this palette, a look with this palette, a nice red lip, and I'm ready for the festive season, you guys. I'm ready for the festive season. So this is one of my ultimate like go-to palettes for just an easy breezy, neutral cool tone look that just works every single time. 3 mattes here, 2 mattes here, 4 shimmers in a 9 pan, which I think is good. And we also get interesting shimmers. Like, this is a little bit more like smoky. If you want to smoke things out, you can so easily take this from day to night. Like, if you go to work, wear something super basic, work that shimmer into it later in the day, and you have your perfect party look. It just works. It has something fun and sparkly in here that allows you to just take every single shade to the next level. It's only 9 pans, but it does so much. It's very similar to the Zimna Mocca. Glamshop used to do the Coco Sanka. I didn't even take that up here because it's so discontinued it hurts. But I've always compared to Coco Sanka to the That's Taupe. But that's Taupe. It's just the one thing that is a little bit more available. And I want this video to also be accessible to people who are in the US. And if you're in the US, the ColourPop That's Taupe is going to be super easy to find. Number 9 is the Dior Silver Essentials palette. This is beautiful. It was limited edition for Christmas 2 or 3 years ago, though. No longer available. I know. Sad days. But I love this thing to pieces. It's from their Backstage range, which is why it has a clear lid. You can see the shades inside it. It's essentially a gray and purple palette. So a little bit of color, but not colorful enough where it's going to like take anything away from it. It has some like sparkly things in. It does have a little bit of beige almost, but it goes. It's got this pinky undertone that makes them cool toned. It's really beautiful. The Dior formula is wonderful to work with. Very easy to blend. A lot of the shimmers in here though are going to be satins. If you don't like satins, stay away from the Dior Backstage collection because you're not going to like it. But I like this so much that I got another one of the palettes. I got the Smoky Essentials because I just really like this. And this is stunning. We just need a moment for the appreciation of the Dior Silver Essentials because it's a stunner of a palette. I go back to it a couple of times every year. It's easy to carry if you want to travel, you know, it just has so much going for it. Something that also has a lot going for it because it's small, easy to use, great for travel, and super cool toned. The original Viseart Lila no, just Lila. Petit Four Lila, that's what this thing is called. They now do this as a 12 pan, and I feel this quad is in the 12 pan, but you also get loads of other things, so that's why I didn't take it up here for the ranking, because I don't feel it's truly cool toned. A lot of my Viseart palettes in my brain just fit into the neutral category and not in the cool tone category, save for this. I could have perhaps taken the Étoile up here that they now do as a 12 pan. I'm considering getting that palette. Maybe for like, as a Christmas palette to myself. This happens to me almost every year where for Christmas, usually they have some sort of Christmas sale on somewhere and then I buy a bunch of Viseart palettes. It happens to me every year. But yeah, the Lila, Petit Four Lilas, this is so beautiful. This taupe thing, if you saw my video yesterday where I showed you the Lime Crime Venus Immortalis, it has those two really pretty taupe and silver shimmers in. This is my replacement for that palette. It has those shimmers, but then it also has the mattes that I want to go with it. The Lime Crime didn't have the mattes. This does. It's beautiful. It's more taupey gray. The shimmers are amazing. This is so beautiful. And if you already own this, you don't need the Lumiere version of this, the Lilas Lumiere. You don't need it because these exact shades are in that palette. I kind of regret buying mine, to be real. If I wasn't able to use them for a review, I really would have regretted that purchase. So, because I already own this, get this. If you were looking for good cool tones from Viseart, get this. And the Viseart formula, together with Natasha Denona, is one of my favorites. Easy to use, super easy to work with. If you have any sort of texture on your lids, their shimmers are the ones that are going to stick down without the fallout. So, that was number 8. Yes, so we have number 7 now. Very much discontinued, but I went back to this over the fall time and I was like, I need to put this high up on the list. The Mary Jane from Melt Cosmetics. I mean, she's dusty. She's crusty, but it's a beautiful palette. We get some browns in here, these gray tones, and then we have these, I don't know what, to me, they're green tone taupes. That's how they work in my brain. To other people, they may be like bronzes. They have a bit of yellowy green to them almost, but they also have a lot of gray. They're weird shades. And then we have 2 toppers either side that I just like to use with my finger to top over things. They've started to sort of get hard pan, those 2 shades for me. So I need to scrape them off every single time I use this palette, but I really love the look. This is my go-to smoky eye look. Hold on. Okay, I want to drive my point home. This is what most brands give us if they think we need a smoky eye palette. This is what I want. This is what we get. This is what I want. Luckily, I still have this in my life. Yes, it's messy. Yes, the shimmers can be difficult to work with if you're a beginner. But boy, is this a really, really good smoky eye palette. Maybe I should have put this in the video yesterday as well with like palettes I would never get rid of. Like this thing, so good. And then number 6 before we head into our top 5. Something I tried this year. It came out at the end of 2024. It's the Realm of Fairies by Bella Beauté Bar and Sassy Fairy on Instagram, I believe, or TikTok. I don't know. They're like an influencer somewhere. And this is beautiful. It's very colorful, though, I do have to say. It's not very neutral, but this, very often when indie brands do cool tone palettes, that's why I didn't take up some of my other ones here, they put shimmers in that have a warm toned flip so that all the mattes are beautiful cool tones. And then you try the shimmers and it all pulls like gold or peach or pinky magenta. And I'm like, no! This is one of the very few indie brand palettes that I have that have the flippy, shifty shades, but that are all cool toned. This, like whimsical fairy heaven in a palette. Yes, it doesn't have a lot of neutrals in. It's very colorful indeed. But here's the thing. These are my colors. If I go colorful, can we do that? Like blues, purples, and greens. You know that. Blue, green, purple palettes. And this is just the blues and the purples with some like gray tones in. It's magical. This is a magical palette. If you can still get your hands on it, I would recommend you do. Number 5 then, and this is a Gloss Gods palette. This is the first gal on Jupiter. Not sure, this was going to be in their sale for Black Friday. So if you want to, I'm not sure if how it works exactly, but I'm subscribed to their newsletter and then you get like early access. You need to put in a passcode on their website, and the only way to get the passcode is if you subscribe to the newsletter. They very much advise people who do get the newsletter to not share the password. So if you want to get anything from Gloss Gods this weekend, because they had like 40% off of some of their palettes, I'm not sure if it was this one too, but they were definitely having some sort of sale. They now do a 15 pan like bluey gray sort of thing called Starry Night Skies. I got that. That's my only makeup Black Friday purchase. There's just nothing I'm really craving at the minute. And I will be traveling to London later this week, so I want my money to go there rather than loads of Black Friday stuff. So that's the decision I took. But if you were interested in Gloss Gods, it's just really, really good. We get 5 mattes. Everything else is shimmer. We even get a holographic shimmer in here. These like taupey things. And this duochrome. These are so good. But these are not for the faint of heart. These are your like classic, super pigmented. You need to give this a little bit of time to figure out how to best use these palettes. I again find that Gloss Gods, as far as indie brands go, is a little bit more affordable. The 12 pans retail for around 40 euros, which I think is pretty decent. Since I'm in Europe, I don't have to pay a lot for shipping with them. So if you are in the US, I do apologize, but to me, they are just super easy to use. The packaging is really basic and simple, but it is the same thing with something like the Bella Beauté Bar, right? It's just cardboard packaging. This is not magnetic though. That's the only downside. A lot of other brands that are indie do make magnetic palettes, but I feel like it just makes the palette heavier and therefore shipping costs go up. So I don't necessarily need that in my life. I've gotten over I want to rearrange everything sort of side of my makeup collection for sure. But yeah, first gal on Jupiter just has everything. Give me this. It's not just grays. It's got the browns in. We get something with like a pinky blue flip. We get interest, we get intrigue, we get textures. There's just so much this has just so much going for it. The only thing I do find with this is that these 2 shades are too similar. So I always mix these two to create my ultimate crease shade with this. It can be done, just tap the brush in here and here, go back and forth a few times and you have your perfect shade. You can blend shadow actually, just like you can blend any pigment. Like you can mix them together if you want. So yeah, this is a wonderful palette. I still love mine. 2 bits, and as far as I know, this is still available on the website. Number 4 is going to be my ColourPop Cloud 9 palette. I fell in love hard when this released and it came out. It's one of those palettes that nobody else likes because it's so light. So if you have super fair skin, like if you're super light, you're the palest of the pale, people call you Snow White in your day-to-day life, get this. It has, again, it's everything, but it's like now I look at it, it's like the less intense version of the first Gal on Jupiter by Glossgots, essentially. You do get a black in here. There is a little bit of depth here. We even get a really nice, like, deeper shimmer that's going to be able to amp any look up. But look at how light this is. Again, with the brown tones in here. There are grays, but we also get some brown tones. This also has a holographic shimmer in, so we get textures, we get interest. It has a couple of super shocks in. We even get something that's a little bit more flippy. I really like my Cloud 9, and I love the packaging for this as well. Like, look at the design, or like the little reflective clouds. I think it's really pretty. So ColourPop's Cloud 9 it's just a winner in my book. So that's why this high up. I know these are limited edition collection. They're only ever come out for Christmas, and when they're gone, they're gone. Makeup by Mario palettes. I love my original Ethereal Eyes. This is the Moonlight version. This is the more cool tone version, essentially. There's now another one, like the Earth version of whatever it's called, which is essentially the Ethereal Eyes with a green in. So I skipped that one. I don't need that in my life. It's far too similar to what I already have. Here again, interest. Amazing shimmers, amazing mattes. I remember when I first tried the Makeup by Mario formula, I was like, wowza. We have something new on our hands. Like, this is a different level of an eyeshadow game. This is buildable. Like, if you like playing with shadows, and I'm not talking about like playing with colorful things like I did today, but if you love playing with like shimmers and layers and textures and just looking what happens on your eyes if you put different things together, this palette is like a painter's palette with cool tone neutrals and a blue. It just has everything there, and I love this blue. This blue is amazing. This, as an accent or as a bit of liner, like some of these like lighter tones, and then this as liner is so stunning. Love this like taupe shimmer. These three, like the shimmers in here are so good. So good. I get the crease shades that I want that are like light enough for me. I can make it pull more like gray if I want. If I wanted to do a little bit more of a brownie neutral thing, it can do that as well. It just has so much going for it, but everything here is going to be cool toned. I love this thing to pieces. This is what I wanted the Xenon to be. Because I do feel this, like Makeup by Mario and Natasha Denona color stories are very similar usually, but this is just what I wanted that other palette to be. We just need a moment for the appreciation of this palette, you guys. We just do. We just do. I love this thing. It's stunning. Number 3 for sure. And I'm a little bit torn what to put on the number 1 spot, and I've decided to make it something that you can potentially still get. I was hoping, because over the summertime, Glossgots asked their audience what palette they would like them to bring back, and I don't think they have done that yet. But it was between the Dancing in the Sky, which was the old green shimmer palette, which I have, or this, the Smoke and Mirrors. And I do apologize if you missed out on this. It was limited edition. I hopped on this so fast. I had only just discovered the brand when they released this. I had bought that Dancing in the Sky palette, I believe, and the Neutrals Remixed. Those 2 palettes I had just ordered. They had just been, like, I had just arrived them. I hadn't even tested them out. I didn't even know if I was going to like this brand. And then they became a favorite. So I knew I was onto something, perhaps. And then this was announced for their Black Friday sale that year. And I wasn't sure. And I think around Christmas time, I ended up buying it. And Let me tell you. Remember what I said about a lot of the earlier things in this ranking of things being boring and it just being gray? Cool tones do not have to be boring, and this palette shows it. Yes, you get grays, but it's okay if there are some grays. We get this mirror silver sort of, it's these purpley tones for me. The purpley, heathery things, and then this this middle row, like together with the grays, just makes for so many things, because these purples aren't like purples. They have a little bit of pink, they have a little bit of purple, and they have a little bit of a grayish, murky undertone. It's so beautiful. And I know that for a lot of people who love cool tones, this is the one that got away. We get some duochromes here with these white shades. They're actually shifty shades, and two really pretty mattes that just go with everything. It's such a stunning palette. I need to use this more. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. This is gonna go into my December Shut My Stash as well. And then I think I'm gonna keep this Dior blush in, like this Dior blush with this palette, with these purples all over my lids. Oh, I think that's gonna be stunning. Yes, yes. This is just a stunner of a palette. I love this one. And therefore, the number one that I have currently in my makeup collection is something that I raved about. If you watch my palette video on Thursday, I did a palette roundup with all of the cool tone palettes I've tried in recent months, and this is one of them. This is Dior Cosmetics Magnetic Mineralia. I do think it's out of stock on Monolith. Remember what I said about I want a cool tone color story, but with interest? I present to you Dior Cosmetics Magnetic Mineralia. It has the cool tone neutrals that I want. It has the shimmers to go with that as well. In here, in here, in here. But everything has a little bit of shift. Like this, not just your average neutral. Oh no, it's got a green flip. We get some purples in here as well. And then these two yellowy green tones may seem very rogue, but they tie the whole thing together. They tie the entire palette together. I have enough light things in here to make it work for me. I have enough mid-tones in here to make it work for me. It goes super deep if you want to with some sort of like black thing going on. It has so much going for it. It has interesting shimmers. And here again, like in the realm of fairies, we do get shifty shades, but the shifty shades work really well with the cool tones that we're getting. Thank you. So this is something where I really feel like when I tried it, like the minute I spotted this being announced, I was like, I need that. I need that. And I went out of my way to get this because I am affiliated with Monolith and I do have a code with them in case you're interested. It's in the description box and I'll pop it right here. But from time to time, like I'm not sent everything. Sometimes I want to try things that they're not sending to me, or over summertime, you know, I was traveling, so it didn't make a lot of sense for them to be sending me things. So I do still purchase from that website with my own money as well. And I'm so glad that I was able to carve out a little bit of my makeup budget this year and get this. Yes, she's pricey, but I love this thing. I really, really do. This is what, and the packaging as well, like with the snakes and stuff, get out of here. It's so beautiful. This is just, it just ticks all the boxes for me. It's unique, it's cool toned, interesting shimmers that still go really well with the cool tones, lovely packaging. It's cool tones with a twist, and that's what I love about it. So thanks so much for watching me here today. I've been talking for way too long at you guys. Let me know in a comment down below what your favorite cool tone palette is. I would love to know. I'm pretty sure that I could have featured even more because a lot of my all-time favorite palettes are cool tones to begin with. But I wanted to make this like palettes that I still have in my makeup collection and not like hiding away in a drawer somewhere because I cannot part ways with it. So those things were excluded from this video. But yeah, thanks so much for watching this video today. Thumbs it up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more by me. Like I said, I will definitely be doing this still for all of my neutral palettes as well. I thought I could save the best for last and do it in like December time. So thanks so much for watching me here today. And then I hope to see you again really, really soon in a new video. Bye-bye.